Struggles are not punishments, they are lessons. This is a truth that many of us forget when we are going through difficult times. When life becomes challenging, it's natural to think we are being punished for something we did wrong. We wonder if we made a mistake or if life is simply unfair. However, the reality is much deeper and much more beautiful. Struggles are not meant to break us. They are meant to teach us, shape us, and make us stronger. Every person on this earth faces struggles in one way or another. Some face problems in their studies, others in their relationships, some in their health, and some in their dreams and goals. No one's life is perfect, no matter how perfect it may seem from the outside. But the struggles we face are not random, nor are they signs that God has abandoned us. In fact, they are powerful lessons designed to prepare us for something greater. When a student fails in an exam, it feels painful, but in that failure there is a lesson. Maybe the student learns how to manage time better, how to study smarter, or how to handle pressure. Without that failure, the student would never know the importance of hard work and consistency. The struggle itself becomes a teacher, more valuable than any textbook or lecture. Struggles also teach us patience. In a world that moves fast, where we expect quick results and instant success, struggles remind us that some things take time. When we struggle, we realize that growth is slow, healing is slow, and success is often built on countless small steps rather than one big leap. This patience, learned through struggle, stays with us for life and helps us handle future challenges with calmness and wisdom. Another important lesson struggles teach us is empathy. When we face pain, we understand the pain of others better. A person who has struggled with loneliness will understand the heart of someone who feels alone. A person who has struggled financially will know the value of every single rupee. Struggles make our hearts softer and our eyes kinder. They make us more human. Struggles also teach us gratitude. When life is smooth, we often take our blessings for granted. We forget to be thankful for the small things, the health we have, the people who love us, the simple comforts of food, water, and shelter. But when we struggle, we realize how precious these things are. A person who has been sick learns to appreciate every healthy day. A person who has lost something understands its value more deeply than anyone else. Struggles teach us to appreciate even the smallest blessings. Most importantly, struggles teach us about our own strength. Many times we underestimate ourselves. We think we are too weak to handle pain, heartbreak, or failure. But when struggles come, we discover a strength inside us we never knew existed. We realize we can survive, we can fight, and we can rise again. This realization changes us forever. It gives us confidence that no matter what life throws at us, we have the power to overcome it. So when struggles come into your life, don't see them as punishments. See them as teachers, as opportunities to grow into a wiser, stronger, and more compassionate person. Struggles are not there to destroy you. They are there to prepare you for the future you are meant to live. Every struggle carries a lesson, and every lesson takes you one step closer to becoming the best version of yourself. Remember, diamonds are formed under pressure and gold is purified through fire. Your struggles are shaping you into something precious, not punishing you, but preparing you for a brighter future ahead. God never wastes our pain. This is a truth that brings comfort to hearts burdened with sorrow, disappointment, and loss. When we go through pain, it's easy to believe that it's meaningless or unfair. We often ask why it happened to us or wonder if our suffering serves any purpose. But the reality is that every tear we shed, every heartbreak we endure, and every wound we carry has a purpose in God's greater plan. Nothing we go through is ever wasted in the eyes of God. Pain is one of life's greatest teachers, even though it is the most difficult one. Every painful experience holds a lesson, whether we recognize it immediately or understand it years later. When we lose something or someone we love, the pain teaches us the value of gratitude and the importance of cherishing moments. When we fail at something we worked hard for, the pain teaches us resilience and the power of trying again. Every painful chapter in our life is a lesson wrapped in tears, waiting to be unwrapped with time and reflection. Sometimes pain helps us see life from a new perspective. It opens our eyes to things we were too busy to notice before. It humbles us and reminds us that we are not in control of everything, that there is a higher power guiding us through every storm. This realization makes us stronger in faith, closer to God, and more aware of our blessings. Without pain, many of us would never pause to appreciate health, happiness, or the simple joys of life. Pain teaches us that nothing should be taken for granted. God never wastes our pain because He knows pain is the bridge that connects our hearts to others. When we go through struggles, we become more compassionate toward people who are suffering. We can sit beside someone who is hurting and say, "I understand," not out of pity, but because we have walked the same road. Our pain becomes a source of healing for others. A heart that has been broken becomes a heart that knows how to heal. God uses our pain to turn us into a source of comfort, kindness, and support for those around us. There are times when pain redirects our life completely. What we thought was the end of a dream turns out to be the beginning of something even better. God closes one door to open another, a door we would have never seen if we had not experienced pain. In the middle of heartbreak or failure, it feels like God is silent, but He is actually working behind the scenes, shaping our future in ways we cannot imagine. What feels like rejection is often God's protection or redirect. Pain also strengthens our faith. When we have nothing left to hold on to except God, that is when we truly learn what trust means. We stop relying on our own understanding and surrender to His wisdom. This surrender transforms our relationship with God. We begin to see that even though we cannot understand the reason for our pain, we can trust the one who allows it. His plans are always better than our plans, and His ways are higher than our ways. In the end, no pain is ever wasted. Every tear, every sleepless night, and every silent prayer is counted by God. He knows our struggles, and He uses every moment of pain to mold us into stronger, wiser, and more compassionate souls. Pain is never meaningless when it is placed in God's hands. He transforms it into purpose, power, and blessing, not just for us, but for those we are meant to help along the way. God never wastes our pain because our pain becomes part of our story, and our story becomes part of someone else's healing. Great blessings come after great struggles. This is a truth that life teaches us again and again, yet we often forget it when we are in the middle of hard times. When struggles come, we feel tired, hopeless, and even question if we will ever see happiness again. But the reality is that struggles are not the end of the story. They are the beginning of something greater. The darkest nights produce the brightest stars, and the greatest blessings are often born from the greatest struggles. History, faith, and even nature show us this lesson clearly. A seed has to break underground in complete darkness before it grows into a strong tree. Gold has to pass through intense fire before it shines. A butterfly has to struggle to break out of its cocoon before it can fly. In the same way, every human being faces struggles before reaching their greatest blessings. These struggles are not meant to destroy us, they are meant to prepare us, to make us strong enough to handle the blessings that are coming. When we look at the lives of successful people, we often see the blessings, their fame, their wealth, their achievements. But what we don't always see are the struggles they faced to get there. Behind every success story is a story of sleepless nights, failures, tears, sacrifices, and moments of doubt. Every great blessing came after a great struggle. Struggle is the price we pay for success and greatness. Struggles also teach us important life lessons that prepare us for our blessings. They teach us patience, because real success takes time. They teach us hard work, because nothing valuable comes easily. They teach us faith, because sometimes the only thing that keeps us going is the belief that better days are coming. They teach us humility, because when we have struggled, we understand the pain of others who are struggling. These lessons make us wiser and stronger, so that when blessings come, we are ready to handle them with maturity and gratitude. Struggles also teach us to appreciate blessings when they arrive. When you have struggled to earn something, you value it more. A person who has struggled financially knows the true value of money. A student who has worked day and night to pass an exam knows the true value of success. Without struggle, we often take blessings for granted. Struggles make us grateful for the smallest victories, and this gratitude turns every blessing into something even more beautiful. Sometimes, struggles also help us discover hidden strengths and talents within ourselves. In comfortable times, we don't always know how strong we are, but in moments of struggle, we realize we are braver, smarter, and more capable than we ever thought. Struggles push us to break our own limits, and that inner strength becomes a blessing we carry for life. Most importantly, struggles remind us to trust God's plan. When life is easy, we sometimes forget the importance of prayer, faith, and connection with our Creator. But struggles bring us back to God, teaching us to rely on His wisdom and timing. We learn that even when life feels out of control, God's plan is always in motion. And in His plan, every struggle is followed by a blessing, sometimes in ways we could never expect. In the end, the blessings that come after struggles are not just rewards, they are proofs of our growth. They show that we did not give up, that we faced the storms and kept moving forward. These blessings become sweeter because they carry the story of our strength, our faith, and our journey. So, whenever you face struggles, remember, they are not signs of your failure. They are signs that something beautiful is on its way. Great blessings always come after great struggles. Keep going, because your blessing is closer than you think. Trust God's plan even when you don't understand it. This is one of the hardest lessons we have to learn in life. As human beings, we naturally want to know why things happen the way they do. We want answers. We want to understand why certain prayers seem to go unanswered, why some dreams break apart, and why life takes unexpected turns. But the truth is, life does not always make sense to us, and that's exactly where faith comes in. True faith is not trusting God only when life is easy and everything makes sense. True faith is trusting Him when everything feels confusing, painful, and unfair. There are moments in life when doors close, opportunities slip away, and people we love walk out of our lives. In those moments, it feels like everything is falling apart. We might think God has forgotten us or is ignoring our prayers, but what we often don't realize is that God's plan is much bigger than what we can see right now. We see only a small part of the picture, but God sees the whole story. The past, the present, and the future. What we think is a setback might actually be a setup for something better. What we see as a rejection could be God's protection. One of the hardest things to accept is that God's plan doesn't always match our plan. We make plans based on our limited understanding, but God's wisdom is beyond imagination. Sometimes we pray for something, believing it's the best thing for us, but God knows that it might harm us in ways we cannot see. So instead of giving us what we want, He gives us what we need, even if it's painful in the moment. Trusting God's plan means believing that His decisions are made with love, even when they break our hearts. Life is full of twists and turns. There will be times when we feel stuck in situations we never expected. We might wonder why God allowed us to face such struggles, but every test, every delay, and every closed door has a purpose. Sometimes God delays our blessings because the right time hasn't come yet. Sometimes He allows struggles because they shape our character, teach us patience, and prepare us for greater things. What we see as obstacles, God sees as opportunities to grow and become stronger. Trusting God's plan also means accepting that not everything will make sense immediately. Some answers only come with time. There are moments when we look back at our past struggles and realize they led us to beautiful blessings we could never have imagined. What felt like a painful ending was actually the beginning of something better, but at the time, we couldn't see it. That's why faith is so important. It helps us walk through dark times, knowing that God's light is guiding us, even if we can't see the whole path. In the end, trusting God's plan brings peace. Instead of worrying about every little detail, we can surrender and say, I don't know why this is happening, but I trust that God knows best. This surrender doesn't mean we stop working hard or stop caring about our future. It means we do our best, but we leave the results in God's hands. This trust allows us to sleep peacefully, knowing that the one who created the universe is also writing our story. So no matter what you're going through right now, hold on to your faith. Even if the road ahead looks unclear, trust that God is leading you somewhere beautiful. His plan may be different from yours, but it will always be better. Because when you trust God, you realize that even when you don't understand the journey, you are always safe in His hands. Struggles build strength, patience, and courage. This is a truth we only realize after we have walked through difficult times. When we are going through struggles, it often feels like we are being broken, like life is too heavy and we are too weak to carry the burden. But once the storm passes, we begin to see the hidden gift inside those struggles. Every challenge we face shapes us, every hardship teaches us, and every difficulty strengthens us in ways we could never imagine. Strength is not something we are born with, it is something we build, and struggles are the tools that help us build it. Just like muscles grow stronger through resistance and weightlifting, our inner strength grows through the weight of life's challenges. When we face loss, failure, or disappointment, we learn how to survive it. We discover the strength we never knew we had. The first time we struggle, we feel weak. But the second time, we realize we are stronger than before. Each struggle adds another layer of strength to our character, making us tougher and more resilient with every step. Struggles also teach us patience. In a world where everything moves fast, instant messages, quick answers, fast results, struggles force us to slow down. They teach us that not everything happens immediately. Healing takes time. Success takes time. Dreams take time to come true. Struggles teach us the art of waiting without losing hope. This patience becomes one of the greatest strengths we carry for the rest of our lives. When we have faced tough times with patience, we no longer panic over small delays. We understand that everything in life has its own perfect timing, and patience is the key to reaching it. Courage is another gift that struggles leave behind. True courage is not the absence of fear, it is the ability to move forward despite the fear. When we struggle, we face moments of doubt, fear, and uncertainty. We wonder if we are strong enough to survive, if we will ever succeed, or if we will ever find happiness again. But each time we choose to get up after falling, we build courage. Each time we try again after failure, we build courage. Each time we walk forward despite fear, we become braver than before. Without struggles, courage would remain only a word. But through struggles, courage becomes a part of who we are. Struggles also teach us important life lessons that stay with us forever. They teach us empathy. When we have struggled, we understand the pain of others better. They teach us gratitude. After struggling for something, we appreciate it more when we finally achieve it. They teach us humility. We realize that everyone faces battles and no one is better than anyone else. These lessons make us wiser, kinder, and more compassionate human beings. The beauty of struggles is that they not only shape us, they also prepare us. Each struggle we face prepares us for something greater. Every bit of strength, patience, and courage we gain from struggles becomes a tool we will need for the future. Life is unpredictable and challenges will come again, but the struggles we have already faced become proof that we can survive anything. Our past struggles become the foundation of our future confidence. So whenever life puts you through a difficult situation, remember this: it is not there to destroy you. It is there to build you into someone stronger, more patient, and more courageous. Struggles are not punishments, they are training. And every bit of strength, patience, and courage you build will become your shield in the battles ahead and your guiding light in the darkest nights. Struggles build you into the person you are meant to become, stronger, wiser, braver. And that is a gift worth every tear and every pain. A blessing delayed is not a blessing denied. This is one of the most important lessons we need to understand as we walk through life. In a world where everything happens so fast, we often expect our prayers to be answered immediately and our dreams to come true without delay. But life does not work that way, and neither does God. When blessings do not arrive on our timeline, it is easy to feel forgotten or rejected. But the truth is, a delay is not a denial. Just because something hasn't happened yet does not mean it will never happen. Sometimes God's not yet is a sign that He is preparing something even better for us. Delays are difficult to accept because they test our patience and our faith. When we have prayed for something for months or even years, waiting can feel unbearable. We start to wonder if God heard us at all. But just like a farmer does not harvest crops the day after planting seeds, blessings also take time to grow. The delay is not a punishment, it is part of the process. Every blessing comes at the right time, not a moment too soon and not a moment too late. God's timing is perfect, even when we do not understand it. One reason blessings are delayed is because we may not be ready to receive them yet. Sometimes we want things that we are not prepared to handle. If a child asks for a car, no loving parent would hand them the keys before they are old enough to drive. In the same way, God holds back certain blessings until we are mature enough, wise enough, or strong enough to handle them. What feels like a delay is actually God's way of protecting us from receiving something too soon, something that could hurt us instead of helping us. Delays also teach us patience and trust. When we are forced to wait, we learn to lean on God instead of relying only on ourselves. We learn to trust His plan, even when we do not see the full picture. This trust builds our faith, and that faith becomes one of the greatest blessings of all. If every prayer was answered immediately, we would never develop strong faith. It is through waiting that our trust in God deepens, and we realize that He is faithful even in the silence. A delayed blessing also allows us to appreciate it more when it finally arrives. If everything came easily, we would take it for granted. But when we have prayed, struggled, and waited, the blessing becomes more meaningful. We understand its true value because we know what it took to receive it. The longer the wait, the sweeter the reward. It is also important to remember that sometimes God's delays are because He is preparing something even greater than what we asked for. We might be praying for one thing, but God knows that He has something far better planned. His delay is not rejection, it is redirection. He is guiding us toward a blessing we never expected, one that fits His perfect plan for our life. So whenever you feel like your blessing is taking too long to arrive, do not lose heart. Delays are not signs of God's absence. They are proof of His wisdom and His love. Trust that every delay has a purpose, and every moment of waiting is part of the preparation. A blessing delayed is never a blessing denied. It is simply a blessing that will arrive at the perfect time, in the perfect way, and it will be worth every second of the wait. Keep praying, keep trusting, and keep believing. Your blessing is on its way.